Where the hell are the Bitcoin dominance bros now? I called the top on Bitcoin dominance back in June, and all I heard was Bitcoin dominance is too high for a top. But if you think about it critically, this is where tops have to come in. Now that Bitcoin dominance is dropping, everybody is changing their tune, but the narrative has shifted from this isn't the top to here comes support. Yes, Bitcoin dominance will stall on the way down, but when Bitcoin dominance tops, it nukes for months before finding macro support. During that time, altcoins are ripping, and Bitcoin dominance bros are sidelined. Let me show you why they were wrong in June, and they're wrong again. Let's get into it. Alright guys, let me start off this video by saying I don't necessarily have a target for Bitcoin dominance. I don't care how low it goes, and I don't care what path it takes to get there. I'm watching plenty of other macro triggers when it comes to altcoins and their market cap, when it comes to macro indexes, when it comes to the economy, and when it comes to the stock market. But there is an interesting narrative that I want to talk about that I think will continue for the rest of this cycle. And that's that at every one of these little supports, everybody's going to be screaming that Bitcoin dominance will reverse. Everybody's going to be screaming that liquidity is going to flow back to Bitcoin and that alt season is over. They'll be saying something different down here, but that's for another video. My point is that when Bitcoin dominance tops, it bleeds for months on end. And support doesn't come in on some random wick. It comes in at a macro level. The same people that were telling me Bitcoin dominance couldn't top in here because it was too high are going to be the same ones telling you that it's bottoming out way before it does. I don't care how low Bitcoin dominance goes, and I expect it to stall on the way down, but I don't want you guys to fall victim of people screaming that there's going to be some sort of reversal and that you need to get back into Bitcoin. When we look at cycle timing, we know we're in the final phases of Bitcoin, and this has historically been the best time to be in the altcoin market. And there's no reversal in Bitcoin dominance until the actual top comes in, and as you can see here. So you don't need to be worrying about people calling for a reversal early. You just need to look out for macro support and what's happening in the altcoin market when we're in this phase. After all the shit I got back in June, I really didn't even want to talk about Bitcoin dominance again. And it's not super important for my macro thesis and where we're going next. But I know a lot of people like to talk about it, and it's relatively easy to understand. So I don't want you guys to fall victim to some narrative that you might see online. Make sure you check out my other videos so you know what other macro signals I'm watching for. But just know that Bitcoin dominance is not going to be the main driver. That's it for this video. Like I alluded to earlier, there is going to come a point where I completely flip this thesis, but we haven't gotten there yet, and anything you see about Bitcoin dominance stalling and liquidity flowing back into Bitcoin is complete bullshit. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you check out my other uploads this week, and if you have any questions, just drop them in the comments. Catch you on the next one.